Greetings, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? The creatures of night have again risen as the heroes of dawn have failed or fallen asleep. But we will once again, Dawncaster, venture forth to bring justice, to stop the Dawnbringer, and to bring back daylight instead of the eternal nights. It is your mission, Dawncaster, to make all this happen. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed all my extra easy grind Dawncaster stuff as I practice certain classes, complete weekly challenges, and sharpen my skills. Today we'll be playing either the weekly challenge for whatever week I decided to play, and of course, remember, it may not be a weekly challenge that is relevant to you right now because it depends on when you're watching this. Plus, I filmed these way in advance, so these are often filmed 4 or 5 weeks or a month in advance. So this is the past. So you're in the future. So there is the, what is it, a conundrum? Or, I don't know. It's perplex. Anyway, so I am going to try to get a little bit better at the Seeker. I did some improvements to my Seeker. I think I increased its health. I've also done a massive amount of improvements to the Rogue, so the Rogue is looking very healthy. As you know already, the Hunter is exceptionally powerful, and I'm having a lot of luck. Now, some classes I'd like to get a little bit better at is Holy builds. I like to get a little better at the Knight, and I'd also like to continue to work on our Arcanist, who is very, very powerful as well. I forgot to mention. So let's get started today, and we'll see how long we last, and maybe we'll play a couple of playthroughs. We'll be, of course, experiencing some of the content in the expansion packs. And a friend of mine, Aaron Spelker of Mobile Accessible Games, did mention to me, what are some of the elements that are in the expansion packs? Well, to answer that question, I really don't know all the elements other than I know what elements are part of the Prime game, the core game. And I know what elements are a part of certain expansion packs. But there is so much content in the expansion packs, it's really hard to tell which ones are part of which. Now, I like to kind of simplify it. The very easy content is the core. For the most part, except for the final couple of stages, it's not too hard. And then, of course, there's the tribes. That's the ones that's a little bit more rural, the mountains, the plains, but it also has a little bit of battle with demons. And then there's the Siege of Shadows. That's a little bit more eclectic and different and unique. So that's not very good. It's not very helpful. I understand that, but I'm going to try to pin down which stages are directly related to expansion packs. Here's my advice. Buy all of the expansion packs. The game is Dawncaster. The developer's name is Rick Vanderwild. I highly recommend you rate the game 5 stars in the App Store. Tell them that you were sent there by Game Double Tap. Hey, and I want to thank the developer for reaching out to me. And I do have a couple of accessibility things to talk about. What does the L and the R mean? That's the only one I'm going to ask today. What does the L and the R mean? I assume they are different parts of the talent tree. Left, L means left, R means right. Is there going to be an M for middle or A for alternate? So I'm alternative or alternate. Let me know. It's very exciting, very fun. I love talent trees. I've loved talent trees in games ever since I used to play a couple of MMOs a long time ago when I was a lot younger. So I really love your talent tree system. I really love your weekly challenge because it lets me play mashups of weapons. And I have a question. Will you allow our characters in the future to mash up their weapons with whatever class we've unlocked on our own? Will we be able to create our own mashups? That sounds so fun. I'm sure there's some you wouldn't approve of because they'd be so broken. But yeah, that is my question of today. What does the L and the R mean? I know how to unlock them. Everything about it is accessible, but what do the L and the R stand for? All right, folks. Again, my voiceover sometimes speaks late, sometimes it speaks early. Voiceover, iOS screen record, iMovie and my commentary, we do not all get along. We are one big, huge dungeon party, and we all have different attributes and we all have different inclinations. We are kind of out of sync, but we're going to continue to record no matter what, because usually after I've done several hundred videos, I probably need to clear out all my recordings. And after I clear out all my recordings, usually my sync problems go away. So that's probably what we're going to do. We also have our Dawn coffee, brought to you by Dawnbringer. There's no party I can't dismantle, who is our sponsor today. The Dawnbringer will destroy this world along with the demons. Yeah, Dawnbringer, you are too much, you know, so. Yeah, we have a lot of, we have to do, the Dawnbringer is really a real pain in the ass. Anyway, I actually have some really cool videos I'm going to be doing. There are some alternative fights against the Dawnbringer, so you can actually fight the Dawnbringer. Sephiroth, anybody? Yeah, he's a pain in the ass. But anyway, I said that already. Let's go ahead and get started on our adventure.
Visit our store. Rewards and progression. Visit our new game.
Oh, weekly challenge we're doing today.
Visit our store.
Because the weekly challenge gives you a lot more fate shards.
Rewards and bounties. Letterboards. Codex. Letterboards. Run history in the weekly challenge. Return to menu. Open side menu. Weekly trial. Weekly trial.
All right, weekly trial. I think it's the Seeker and the Rogue.
Letterboards. Archives. Start weekly challenge. Bloodshot Sniper.
Okay, yeah, Bloodshot Sniper. Very awesome name.
Rain down a storm of precision strikes and leave your foes to bleed out in their final moments.
I don't have all the cards I need for that. I'm seriously interested in the Seeker today.
Starting setup. Class. Rogue. Starting card. Grievous Injury.
Yeah, Grievous Injury is freaking great to use.
Weapon. Cleavers. Weapon power. Feral weapon.
I had a lot of fun last night playing Grievous Weapon on my Rogue. Whew. So fun.
Minimum game version. 1.13. Previous. 1 of 2 setups. Next.
Let's play the...
Start challenge. Next. 2 of previous. Minimum game version. Weapon. Starting card. Class. Starting setup. Class. Seeker.
We're going to play the Seeker today. I know we don't get much Seeker action, so let's get better with the Seeker, okay? Let's improve our ranking with the Seeker.
Starting card. Phantom Volley.
I've never played Phantom Volley, so that's going to be fun. I think it makes a copy of every arrow you've used. We're about to unlock Phantom... Actually, we're about to unlock Phantom Volley on the Rogue.
Weapon. Shortbow.
And in Shortbow, we've already unlocked.
Weapon power. Management weapon.
Management weapon, I forgot. That one's easy. It just makes copies. A lot of the things that the Seeker does is shoot a lot of stuff in this particular trial.
Minimum game version. 1.13.00. Previous. 2 of 2 setups.
Let's see if we can play this one.
Next. Start challenge. Missing unlockables. You are missing the following items.
We
Phantom
can't.
Volley, select a different setup or head over to the reward section to unlock this item.
We can't do it because we don't have Phantom Volley. But I will get this done. I just don't know if we're going to get it done in time. I really should have unlocked Phantom Volley. I could have done it today, by the way. And I chose to unlock something on the Rogue. Okay, let's just play the Rogue. How's that, okay?
You are missing the following items. Cancel. Start challenge. Objectives. And expansion. Start next. 2 of 2 setups. Previous.
Let's see if we can play the...
Weapon. Cleaver. Starting card. Greet. Class. Rogue. Starting setup. Class. Starting. Weapon.
Let's play the
Cleavers.
Rogue, okay?
Weapon power. Minimum game version. Previous.
I have unlocked this stuff.
1 of 2 setups. Next. Start challenge. Next portrait.
All right, cool. We're going to play the Rogue. I'm going to take off my sweater because... Give me 1 second. I'm going to make some noise. I turned off my AC, so now it's actually warming up in my apartment. So give me 1 second. My hoodie is now too warm because I'm also drinking coffee. Our Dawncaster. All right, now we're going to put our microphone back around my neck. And let's put our microphone on. Okay, there we go. Now we're rocking. And I'm having a nice sip of coffee. That tastes so good. All right, let's get going.
Close run start panel. Starting area. Close run start panel. Close run start panel. Close run start starting area. Heroes Rest Cemetery. Previous starting area. Next starting area. Malignancies percentage. Randomize affixes. Start game. Start weekly challenge. Press to continue.
All right.
Press
Let's see where they put us this time. Weeping Woods?
Heroes Rest Cemetery along Hangman's Road lies the foreboding cemetery known as Heroes Rest. A place no man or woman visits out of their own volition and a true testament to the approaching darkness emanating from the battlefield.
When you first start, before you get the cards you need, there's something you need to know about this challenge. Cards disappear from your deck, so you actually have to fill your deck up. You can't get away with making yourself a super short deck, which is an effective technique to get the cards you want. This particular weekly challenge, you have a torch that gets rid of your cards. So you have to actually increase your deck size outside of what I would consider efficient. So I'm typically gonna run a 25 card deck, maybe even bigger. So yeah, this is a different kind of way of playing, which I appreciate. It's so fun. All right, I'll explain more of it as we go here.
Heroes Rest Cemetery along Hangman's Road lies the foreboding. The long way around. The long way around.
I'll be skipping.
Survive the journey and find your way to Brykindle to join the militia.
I'll be skipping most of the story, unless we get to a part of the game I've never been to. Then I might actually read some of those quests or have voiceover Samantha read it.
The long way around. Heroes Rest the old wooden wheels creak as the carriage comes to an continue. Driver, this is as far as I'll take ye. Stranger, the carriage driver says through the dead. The gilded sun. Where do I can handle myself? You gain 15 gold. Driver, the driver, leave. Exploration. Use weapon power. Feral weapon. Use your weapon power to start next combat with the Fury. Passive. Gain 1 regenerate on every third hit. Character info. Player gold 35. Player health 75.
75 health, 35 gold.
Fresh grave, a rather unremarkable gravestone. Area status. Disturbed graves. Dead in the area gain 1 anger for every grave you disturb.
I try to take care of treasure first, then, shrines first, then treasure, then monsters, because usually kill monsters before you disturb the graveyards, the gravestones, because the gravestones give the monsters anger, and you don't want them any stronger than they are. The stronger they are, the more damage they do, the more you have to defend yourself, the more life points you lose, the more you have to spend time recovering life. To solve all that problem, just leave the graves alone until you kill all the monsters in the area. But eventually you're going to want to check the graves because it's a source of free cards, potions, items, and treasures.
Settings. Area status. Opportunity treasure. Traps or treasure. Skullwing moth. Fresh grave. Show deck. Current cards in. Fresh. Skull. Opportunity treasure. Traps. Opportunity treasure. Small fortune. You spot something glittering in the shadows.
Yes. Let's get our cha-ching sound out. Small fortune is one of my favorites.
Continue. You gain 25 gold. Small fortune. You find 25 gold.
Very nice.
Lead.
That was
Exploration.
cool.
Area status. Disturbed graves. Undead in the area gain 1 anger. Settings. Area status. Fresh grave, a rather unremarked. Restless ghoul brains. Campsite, a brief respite from the perils of adventure.
In this particular instance, I wouldn't remove your blocks. You'll need them because your torch consumes them. It's a different element of the weekly trial. So normally when we play on the Rogue, I remove my blocks right away. I just don't need them. I replace my blocks with evasion, which is much more effective. But in this particular playthrough, we'll keep the blocks.
Restless ghoul brains. Fresh grave, a rather unremarkable gravestone.
So we'll leave the healing for survival.
Area status. Disturbed. Fresh grave, a rather unremarkable gravestone. Restless ghoul brains.
Let's get rid of the hard one first. The ghouls are stronger than the moths. The moths are good. They're good at evasion. So prepare for a long fight with the moths because of their evasion techniques. And then you're going to be basically consider the zombies a little bit more of a physical fight, so harder hits, but they are much slower.
Fresh grave. Restless ghoul brains. Restless ghoul brain. You gain feral weapon enchantment. Enemy gains disturbed graves enchantment. You gain bonfire enchantment. Enemy gain 22 armor stacks. Your turn. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2 damage. Frenzy. Attack again and inflict 3 bleeding. Melee basic attack. Common. Bleeding. When dealt damage, take 1 additional damage per stack of bleeding. Then reduce bleeding stacks by 1.
I need to wash my coffee cup. I usually don't wash it except before I go to bed. But my coffee cup's getting a little grody. I need to wash the whole cup. I have this one coffee cup. I call it my double tap cup, because I'm always double tapping the coffee in every hour or so. And it's my big, huge cup that Marissa gave me. And it's huge. And I usually get a good 16 to 24 ounces of coffee out of a cup. And I leave it sitting on my Keurig, and basically I do wash it at night because I'm not a slob. But I typically leave it. I don't wash it during the day. So usually I fill either tea, coffee, sometimes I'll even drop a little milk in there occasionally. So it gets a little bleh, a little gross.
Block. Neutral. Cleavers. Neutral. Player status. Bonfire. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Block. Cleaver. Block. Cleavers. Character info.
So what we're looking for here is Grievous Wounds. That's the first card. It interacts well with our cleavers, which will make our cleavers do bleed. Now, a new thing that Rick Vanderwild has added is cards, when they're activated and they're going to do more damage, they'll say bonus. I really appreciate him doing that. That's awesome. Very accessible, very helpful to me.
Cleavers. Neutral. Block. New cleavers. Surge of dexterity.
So we
Index
didn't get a
encounter.
Grievous
Attack.
Wounds,
Action.
but we'll get it
Comment.
soon.
Cleavers. Neutral 1. Player status. Cleaver. Surge of dexterity. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal. Cleavers. Neutral. Player status. Bonfire. Cleaver. Cleavers. Cleavers. Block. Neutral. You gain 3 armor stacks.
I would suggest wait till you get Grievous Wounds before you activate your cleavers.
Cleavers. Character info. End turn. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy playing cards. Clawing strike. You block the damage. You take 1 damage. Your turn. End turn.
Block is good enough for almost everything in the graveyard except for the bosses.
Character info. Block. Neutral. Cleavers. New. Surge of dexterity. Cleavers. Neutral. Cleavers. New. Player status. Cleavers. Cleavers. Surge of dexterity. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Neutral. Block. Neutral 1. You gain 3 armor stacks. Character info. End turn. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy playing cards. Vile Bite. You block the damage. You gained 1 poison stacks. Your turn. End turn. Character info. Cleavers. New. Surge of dexterity. Block. New. Cleavers. New. Block. New. Cleaver. Block. Surge of dexterity. You take 1 damage. Block. Cleavers. Bonus. Character info. Cleavers. Block. Cleavers. Block. Cleavers. Player status. Bonfire. Cleaver. Block. Block. Cleavers. Character info. End turn. Enemy turn. End turn. Enemy playing cards. Clawing strike. You take 2 damage. You take 2 damage. Your turn. End turn. I've reached my maximum energy. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Surge of dexterity. Surge of dexterity. Block. Neutral. Cleavers.
Where's my
Neutral
Grievous?
Deal. Player status. Bonfire.
I don't see
Start
my
of turn.
Grievous.
Area card. Cleaver. Block. Surge of dexterity. Surge of dexterity. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Character info.
I don't see my Grievous wound here.
Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2 damage. Surge of dexterity. I've reached my maximum
That's
energy.
fine.
Block. Neutral 1. Gain 3 armor. You gain 3 armor stack. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Player status. Bonfire. Cleavers. Cleavers. Neutral 1.
Oh,
Deal
the
2 damage.
bonfire
Frenzy.
ate
Attack
my
again and inflict 3
card.
bleeding. Melee basic attack. Common. Bleeding.
Okay.
When dealt damage. Take
Okay.
1 additional damage per
I'm
stack of
gonna
bleeding.
show you
Then reduce
the
bleeding
debuff
stacks by
here.
cleavers. New. Player status. Bonfire. Start of turn. Bury a card.
Bonfire kills cards. There's nothing you can do about it. Can't get them back into the next fight. Yeah, it's really difficult. So Bonfire ate my Grievous Wounds. So Grievous Wounds sets up my bleeds, which means that the enemy's bleeding, which activates a bonus on my cleavers. So we're just going to have to fight this particular monster without Grievous Wounds. So yeah, it's a little tricky getting used to the Bonfire effect.
Player status. Feral weapon. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Enemy takes 2 damage.
We're just going to have to beat him over the head.
Cleavers. Enemy takes 2 damage. Player status. Bonfire. Cleavers. Enemy takes 2 damage. You get end turn. Character info. Surge of dexterity. Player status. Bonfire. Player status. Feral weapon. Player stat. Cleavers. Neutral. Enemy takes 2 damage. Player status. Bonfire. Character info. Player status. Bonfire. Character. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy playing cards. Clawing strike. You block the damage. You take 1 damage. Your turn. You heal 1 health.
Yeah,
Enter.
cleavers are good. Because of our frenzy effect, every 3rd hit, I do believe we get a heal. Again, you're going to want to accuracy check me. You're going to want to fact check me. I am still new to Dawncaster. I typically make a lot of mistakes. So check the facts yourself. Check the codex. Join the Discord community of Dawncaster. They have a very rich, helpful, kind community that will help you learn how to play the game.
Character info. Block. Neutral 1. You gain 3 armor stack. Cleavers. Neutral. Enemy takes 2 damage. Cleavers. Neutral. Enemy takes 2 damage. You gain 1 regenerate stacks. Block. Neutral. You gain 3 armor stack. Player status. Bonfire. Surge of character info. Surge of deck. Player status. Bonfire. Cleavers. New. Enemy takes 2 damage. Player status. Bonfire. Character info. Player status. Player status. Feral weapon. Player. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy playing cards. Clawing strike. You block the damage. You block the damage. Your turn. You heal 1 health. End turn. Character info. Block. Neutral 1. You gain 3 armor stacks. Surge of dexterity. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2 damage. Enemy takes 2 damage. Block. Neutral. You gain 3 armor stacks. Cleavers. Enemy takes 2 damage. You gained 1 regenerate stacks. Player status. Bonfire. Cleaver. Character info. Cleavers. Enemy takes 2 damage. Player status. Bonfire. Character info. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy playing cards. Clawing Strike. You block the damage. You block the damage. Vile Bite. You take 1 damage. You gained 1 poison stats. Your turn. I have no more cards left. End turn. Character info. Block. Neutral 1. Block. Neutral 1. Cleavers.
We're
Neutral.
almost in
Enemy
trouble.
takes 2
We
damage.
might lose because
Next.
we're so lucky. See, you can lose if all your cards are burned by your bonfire. So that's the suck part. You gotta be really, really efficient. If you don't see, check your deck frequently. That's your pro tip number 1. Number 2, read your new cards. When you do weekly challenges, read your new cards. Understand how they work. Number 3, upgrade the character that's part of the weekly challenge. As soon as you know what the weekly trial is, weekly challenge, upgrade that character. Number 4, thoroughly read in the codex what the weapons and your special card does and your power-up card does in your deck. Number 5, understand how your class is going to work with the new particular elements. It's definitely a mix and match, so you've got to understand how that works. Number 6, don't throw out your blocks, because when you're playing a mixed class like this, you don't want to kill your blocks. I usually kill my blocks. You don't want to do that this time. Number 7, save your campsites. Your campsites are going to be extremely valuable until you learn how to play. Number 8, read your deck thoroughly. Understand your deck. Number 9, if you think you can't beat a creature, pop your special. Don't be shy. Pop your special. Number 10, when dealing with the bonfire, you must accept more cards or you will lose. Some monsters are very good at delaying you and stalling you and keeping you at bay. So take more cards. That's really the only way to continue to play with bonfire. It's very challenging, fun, and exciting. So learn how each aspect of the weekly trials work. And that's how you get big scores. All right, that's it for our pro tips. Let's go ahead and continue.
Character info. Player gold 60. Character. Next.
Let's see what we got for
You gain 3 gold.
rewards.
Skip rewards.
All right, rewards. What do we got?
Area status. Enemy status. Rogue's Locket. Neutral 1.
Oh,
Gain dex and evasion.
very
While
good,
this is in your
very
deck,
good,
rewards
very
include
good.
cards that cost
That's-
dex. Item. Uncommon. Evasion.
Rogue Locket,
melee damage.
very
Reduce the
good.
first damage. Lay and wait. Dex 1.
Oh,
Gain 1 evasion. Your
extremely
next damage is a
good.
critical hit. Action. Common. Evasion. When dealt melee damage, reduce the first damage taken to 0. Then decrease evasion by 1.
Rogue
Evasion
Locket,
fades at the start of the
good.
turn.
Laid
Critical
weight,
hit.
even
Critical hits
better.
deal double damage. Grand entrance. Ambush. Perform 2. Reset your ambush. Action.
If you're into being
Common.
a bard,
ambush. Ambush
that's a
triggers
good
whenever it is the
card.
first card played of the round. Perform. Increase your current performance by X, or start a new performance.
All right, I'm going to try to repeat everything because I know I have a habit of reacting. So after I finish my reacting, I'm going to tell you calmly what we have to offer. So we have Rogue's Locket, which is really good because we use a neutral particular energy, and then we convert that energy into an evasion and a dexterity. That's a really good card. It's really staple for most rogue decks. Our second offer is a ambush card. It's an ambush card, sort of, I think, that gives us evasion. Well, let me look at it again.
Lay and wait. Dex 1. Gain 1 evasion. Your next damage is a critical hit. Action. Common. Evasion. When dealt melee damage, reduce the first damage taken to 0. Then decrease evasion by 1. Evasion fades at the start of the turn. Critical hit. Critical hits deal double damage.
Okay, sorry. Lay in wait is even better. It's a DPS card. So it gives you, it's a DPS/defense card. You get evasion, which means nothing can hit you except for the effects of the hit that missed you. So you cannot evade poison, stagger, burns. You can't avoid that stuff. Those are effects. Think of those as things that hit you no matter what. You can avoid direct attacks. So it's like 5th edition. Rogues always have the ability to kind of avoid area. They can avoid single target effects, but they can't usually avoid area effects. And that's the same thing here in Dawncaster. You cannot avoid the effects of things, but you can avoid the direct attack in some situations. So that's our second thing, Lay and Wait. That's a great card. That's probably better than Rogue's Locket, though they are both pretty good. Depending on your build, you might want to choose Rogue's Locket because it's basically a free evasion. But it's also kind of like just an evasion because all you get is just one thing. But if you're a person that tends to pick up all kinds of strange energy from different sources, then Rogue's Locket could be useful for you. But Lay in Wait is going to be much better. Now, our third choice is a Bard card, which I'm not going to get into because I'm going to be covering Bards probably in September. Because you're like, what? Well, I'll be covering it before September, but what it is that for the official series, I'll be covering it in September. But for non-official episodes like Easy Grind and just me hanging around with y'all, I'll be doing some Bard playthroughs to get some practice. But I really can't cover the Bard because I don't have all their cards. Number two, it's a more advanced class. It's a subclass of the Rogue. And it can also be a subclass of several other characters. So it isn't a one particular class. So the Bard takes a lot of work to really play well. So there's a lot of stuff you do. There's performances, there's special cards, there's special weapons, there's special supers. You got to learn all that stuff. And it's very, very specific. Okay, so those are our three choices. We will choose the second choice, which is Lay in Wait. It's a powerful card. It's a great card. And we will take Rogue's Locket if given another opportunity to pick it up. We'll be also talking about when we level up what particular things are going to be best. Again, this is a roguelike. You don't know what you're going to get for your level up. You can also re-roll, which is very helpful.
Grand Entrance. Add Rogue's Locket to deck. Add Lay in Wait to deck.
Okay, we got Lay in Wait.
Settings.
Great card. Baby Goat approves. Baby Goat very much approves of Lay in Wait. All right, let's get moving here.
Settings. Area status. Settings. Area status. Fresh grave, a rather unremarkable. Campsite, a brief respite from the pair. Opportunity treasure. Traps or treachery.
Oh, cool. We got another treasure. We got a campsite.
Campsite, a brief player character info. Player gold 63. Use weapon power. Show deck. Player health 69.
We have 69 health. I typically don't rest at the campsite until my health is somewhere down near 60 or in the 50s. You don't want to overheal. That's really bad. Save your heals for when you need them. Better to underheal than to overheal, though somebody might disagree with me, and that's totally okay. Please drop your STGs, comments, feedbacks in the comments. Like this video or don't like this video. It's up to you. If you don't like it, don't just dislike it. But if you like it, please let me know. It's always appreciated if you like the video.
Opportunity treasure. Traps or treachery. The Forge a large forge burns with a bright blue. The Forge a large forge burns with a bright blue flame. Lick of the fire promising arcane rewards in return for mundane weapons.
Okay, this is always good. This is one of the best opportunity treasures because I'm going to get a free upgrade. So that's a 20 gold value. That gets such a ching.
Warm your hands by the fire. Upgrade a basic attack.
Oh, if you warm your hands by the fire, I do believe it heals you for a minimal amount.
Throw a weapon in the fire.
If you throw a weapon in the fire, it gets rid of one of your basic attacks. So if you want your deck small, drop a weapon in the fire. I do that occasionally, especially for wizard builds.
Upgrade a basic attack.
I'm going to upgrade maybe that.
Warm your hands by the fire. Upgrade. Throw a weapon in the fire.
I'm going to...
Warm your hands by the fire. Upgrade a basic attack.
I'm going to upgrade a basic attack.
Cleavers upgraded. Cleavers upgraded. Exploration. Area status. Disturbed grade.
So it
Undead in the area
upgraded
gain
my
1 anger for
cleavers
every grade you
twice.
disturb.
That means one of my cleavers is a +3, I do believe. Or 2 of my cleavers are +2.
Settings. Area status. Shine a strange statue stands out from its surroundings.
Oh, yes, shrine. Let's go for the shrine.
Shine of mirrors. A strange statue stares at you longingly, surrounded by various objects that share an exact counterpart amidst the rubble.
All right, Shrine of Mirrors. That's a cha-ching, and let's go tutorial mode. When you hear that sound, that means we're in tutorial mode. I'm going to tell you, Shrine of Mirrors is very good for this particular weekly trial because your bonfire eats cards. So, copy your favorite card. That way the bonfire has less chance of eating it. It doesn't mean your bonfire can't eat both, but it's better to mirror important cards. My suggestion, mirror your power cards. The special card, like in this deck, the Grievous Wounds card, that's the card you want to mirror. Because if it gets knocked out of your deck with Bonfire, eaten by Bonfire, then you are really just slamming a hammer against a brick wall. I can tell you right now, that's not a very effective way of destroying a brick wall.
Hand the statue a coin.
If you hand the statue a coin, it's just going to give you back 1 coin. Useless. Don't bother.
Hand the statue a card.
I'm going to
Leave.
hand
the statue a card.
And of course, you can leave if you don't want to deal with any of this.
Leave. Hand the statue a card.
You might want to make some notes for yourself about what shrines do. And yes, I am currently working on an STG for all the shrines in the game. I am about 40% done with that STG. So you'll probably see that STG sometime in August.
Hand the statue a card.
I'm going to hand it a card.
Select card. Block. Neutral 1. Block. Neutral 1. Cleavers. 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 +1. Neutral cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2 damage. Grievous injury. Dex
There it
STR
is.
1
Grievous
life 1.
injury.
Deal 3 damage. Card added.
I'm
Card
gonna copy
Grievous
it.
injury. Dex
So
STR 1
grievous
life
injury
1. Deal 3 damage. Bloodlust. Life drain.
It's gonna be
Rebound.
copied.
0/4. Exploration. Area status. Disturbed graves. Undead in the area gain 1
All
anger
right,
for every
cool.
grave you
That's
disturb.
very good. We have a better chance of enacting our bleeds. This deck is all about bleeds, so you got to get those bleeds on. That's what the Grievous weapon is all about.
Settings. Area status. Fresh grave a rather mini boss abomination. A campsite a brief respite from the perils of
We
adventure.
already got a mini boss up, but I'm going to try to save the mini boss for when I am leveled to level 2.
Player gold 63. Campsite a mini boss abomination a fresh grave a rather unremarkable gravestone. Fresh grave undisturbed grave a rather unremarkable
First
gravestone
grave,
stands
let's
somewhat crooked
unlock
over a
our
patch of
first
soil.
grave. Let's dig into a grave.
Open the grave. Undisturbed grave, you dig into the shallow grave, quickly uncovering a small stash of items.
Okay, we got a card, most likely. We could also get a potion.
Continue. Card added. Card obtained.
Oh,
Exploration.
let's see what we
Grievous
got.
injury. Dex Chalice of Blood. Life 3.
Oh!
On draw. Take 0 damage, then upgrade this by 2. 1 use. Gain 0 maximum health. Heavy. Grounded. Divine action. Legendary. Grounded. Grounded cards can't be altered.
Okay,
Copied or
Chalice
used.
is a
Heavy.
one-time
Heavy cards do not get
use.
reshuffled after your deck reaches 0 cards.
It
Treasure.
upgrades
This card is part of the
something.
treasure pool and can be found through Grievous Chalice of Blood. Life 3. On draw. Take 0 damage, then upgrade this by 2. 1 use. Gain 0 maximum health. Heavy. Grounded. Divine action. Legendary. Grounded. Grounded cards can't be altered. Copied or imbued. Heavy. Heavy
I
cards do
don't
not get
know
reshuffled after
how
your deck reaches 0
Chalice of
cards.
Blood
Treasure.
works.
This card is part of the treasure pool and can be found through various events. On draw. On draw effects trigger whenever the card is drawn from your deck.
But it will upgrade something. Don't know what it will upgrade, but it will. So if you know, feel free to drop a spoiler in the comments below. And don't forget to label it Chalice of Blood. Gotta tell me what you're saying in the comments. For those of you writing me comments, if you want to tell me something that's a little longer, swing by my Discord community. Also, don't forget to join Dawncaster's Discord community, which is totally accessible to the blind and visually impaired, and to all humans. So definitely, please swing by my Discord and explain it to me like I am like 2 years old. I don't mind. I am still learning this game. But yes, and once you explain it to me, I will explain it to my channel. So, but yes, Chalice of Blood does some upgrade. I still haven't learned it yet. That's the fun of roguelikes and RPGs, learning what things do. All right, we're gonna take that, and that's why I dig into graves, because the graves have cool stuff.
Chalice of Blood. Chalice of Blood. Area status. Disturbed graves. Stacks 1 undead in the area, gain 1 anger for settings. Area status. Restless ghoul brains. Opportunity treasure. Campsite a brief. Windy hillock howling. Windy hillock howling wind sweep across the land.
Okay,
Wind cuts your
oops,
face.
I
The stinging
double
and thunderous
tapped,
assault
sorry.
on your fair skin. The sudden gale forces find shelter. Continue into the storm. Continue into the storm. Windy hillock shards of sand and dust cut into your exposed face and hands. Grit embeds itself deep beneath your skin, leaving you bleeding from dozens of scratches and furrows. As the storm settles, you feel your face permanently marked by the unusually harsh conditions of Umbras. Ellipsis.
Okay, I don't know why I go into the storm. I don't know what this does. There's a secret here somewhere. I've never been able to figure it out.
Continue. Continue. Exploration. Area status. Disturbed graves.
I did
Stacks 1 undead
something.
in the area, gain 1 anger for
I
every
know
grave
I
you
did
disturb.
something, but I haven't figured it out.
Settings. Area status. Disturbed graves. Stacks 1 undead in the area, gain 1 anger for Skullwing moth. The bony moth is barely able to lift its weight.
It's a secret. Anyway, I think when you take the sand and grit to your face, you make yourself stronger somehow. I don't know.
Area status. Skullwing moth. The bony moth is restless ghoul brains. Opportunity treasure. Traps
Ooh,
or
we got
treachery
another
away. Player
treasure.
gold 63. Opportunity treasure.
Let's do this
Trap-
treasure.
Opportunity treasure. Alchemic table. You find a desk with several vials, herbs and mushrooms scattered atop its surface,
Ooh.
allowing you to concoct a single potion. Ellipsis.
Oh, let's make a potion.
Create a blue potion. Create a red potion. Create a random potion.
Let's take red because healing is better.
Create a red potion.
Just be safe.
Card added. Card obtained. Grievous injury. Dex ST. Chalice of Blood. Healing potion. Healing potion.
Sweet. A healing
1
potion
use.
is
Gain 10
great.
health. If you are below 50% health, gain 15 health instead.
Just
Item.
keep it
Uncommon. Treasure.
as
This
a-
card is part of the treasure pool and can be found through various events.
Save it as an oh shit potion because that's what I use it for.
Exploration. Settings. Settings. Area status. Skullwing Moth. The Bony Moth is bare. Campsite Aid Reef. Mini boss abomination. Player gold 63. Mini boss. Campsite Aid Reef respite. Skullwing Moth. The Bony Moth is area status. Skullwing Moth. The Bony Moth is barely able to lift its Skullwing Moth. You gain Feral Weapon enchantment. Enemy gains Disturbed Graves enchantment. You gain Bonfire enchantment. Enemy gain 22 armor stacks. Your turn. Surge of Dexterity. Gain Dex and Conjure. A basic attack. Action.
The enemies.
Common. Conjure. Creates a temporary card that is removed after combat.
The enemies on this weekly trial build themselves up with armor, so don't pop off your best attacks early. Try to punch them a little bit to knock down that armor. It ain't gonna do much. Or here's the best way to do it. Let that armor fade off of them. Because the first turn, you cannot knock them out. They just have so much armor.
Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Block. Neutral 1. Gain 3. You gain 3 armor stacks. Player status. Bonfire. Grievous Cleavers. Grievous injury. You take 1 damage. Enemy has blocked this attack. Surge of Dexterity. Gain Cleavers. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Bonus. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Bonus. Player status. Bonfire. Start of turn. Cleavers. Bonus. Neutral 1. Character end turn. Enter. Enemy turn. Enemy playing cards. Plus fight. You gained 1 infected stacks. Flyby. You block the damage. Your turn. End turn. Character info. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Neutral. Cleavers. Plus 1. Cleavers. Neutral. Surge of Dexterity. Character info. End turn. Character info. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2 damage. Frenzy. Attack against the Cleavers. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Enemy takes 2 damage. Cleavers. Plus. Enemy takes 3 damage. You gained 1 regenerate stacks. Cleavers. Enemy takes 2 damage. Cleavers. Character. End turn. You take 1 damage. You take 1 damage. Enemy turn. Enemy playing cards. Plus fight. You gained 1 infected stacks. Plus fight. You gained 1 infected stacks. Your turn. You heal 1 health. End turn. Character info. Grievous injury. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes 3 damage.
And as you can tell, once those blocks fall off, you can go back to your usual strategy.
Surge of Dexterity. Gain Dex and Grievous injury. Dex STR1. Lay in wait. Grievous injury. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes 3 damage. You gained 1 regenerate stacks. Cleavers. Bonus. Neutral 1. Enemy takes 2 damage. Enemy takes 2 damage. Enemy gained 3 bleeding stacks.
And now that I got my bleeds on it, it's only a matter of time before the moth goes down.
Lay in wait. Dex 1. Gain 1 evasion. Your next damage is a critical hit. You gained 1 evasion stacks. You gain lay in wait enchantment. Player status. Lay in wait. Gain Cleavers. Neutral 1. I don't have enough energy. Character info. End turn. Enemy turn. End turn. Enemy playing cards. Buzz fight. You gained 1 infected stacks. Buzz fight. You gained 1 infected stacks. Your turn. You heal 1 health.
You cannot evade infections and stuff like that. Again, those are effects, status elements. They're not you can't block them. You can't avoid them. I bet there's probably a card that can, but not that I know of.
Character info. Cleavers. Neutral. Block. Neutral 1. Gain 3 armor. Cleavers. Plus 1. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Player status. Cleavers. Cleavers. Block. Neutral. You gain 3 armor stacks. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Enemy takes 4 damage. You gain 1 regenerate stacks. Enemy takes 3 damage. Character info. Player gold 60. Area status. Enemy status. Settings. Enemy status. Area stat. Player gold. Character info. Next. You gain 2 gold. Skip rewards.
Let's see what we got for rewards.
Area status. Enemy status. Larceny. Steal your foe's remaining energy and convert it to a type of your choice. Charges. 2/2. Action. Uncommon.
Might want to do that. I might want to do this card. Stealing my opponent's energy could be fun.
Enemy stat. Larceny. Steal your foe's remaining energy and convert it to a type of your choice. Charges. 2/2. Action. Uncommon.
Doesn't seem like it costs any health. It doesn't seem to cost any energy.
Shadow Sanctuary. Dex 1. Gain 1 evasion. Gain to regenerate.
So
Sinister. Action. Uncommon. Evasion. When dealt melee damage, reduce the first damage taken to 0, then decrease evasion by 1. Evasion fades at the start of the turn. Regenerate. At the start of the turn, gain 1 health per stack and decrease regenerate by 1. Sinister. Sinister cards get more powerful for each other sinister card you played during the entire combat. 1000 cards. Dex 1. Deal 3 damage for each of your decks. Melee action. Common.
Okay. Let's talk about these 3 cards. They're all good. Larceny, I've never played, but it sounds excellent, and I might want to use it. You basically steal their energy. It becomes your energy, and it doesn't look like Larceny costs any energy. So there are 3 energies in the game. Well, there are actually 4, and there's probably more. The first energy I'm going to talk about is Dexterity, because it's relevant to the class we're playing, a Seeker. The second energy is Intellect, which is relevant to an Arcanist. The third energy is Strength, relevant to a Warrior. The fourth energy is Holy, relevant to a Paladin, or a class that's using holy kind of abilities. So those energies have colors. Now, if you're playing this as a person who's visually impaired, you're not going to see the colors necessarily. You might, you may not. I don't know how your visual diversity works. It's up to you to explain how that works in the comments. However, I am working to have the developer include colors as one more bit of text information on each card, so you know what color the card is. I know some of you are going to hate me because you're going to be like, hey, come on, game, too much information, too much information. No, it's not. Shut the up. It's cool. Don't worry about it. I'm just kidding. You know what? It's probably something we could toggle on and off, but I love TMI. I'm cool with TMI. I'm very, very, very much in love with TMI because it tells me stuff that makes me feel like I'm seeing it. So it's good for me, but it may not be good for you. So if you don't like it, let me know in the comments. If you like TMI, let me know in the comments as well. And respect each other's opinion, folks. I'm just joking here, but respect each other's opinions. All right, so as I said, there are colors in the game, and understanding those colors is basically what the INT, Holy, Dex, STR are basically colors. Every kind of color relates to certain classes. Some classes can use multicolors. For instance, a hunter can use int, STR, Dex, and Holy. I mean, that's what we're talking about. But let's say an Arcanist usually only uses int and occasionally Dex, sometimes Holy. So you see what I'm saying? Each color relates to a class, loosely. And there are some specific class builds that really use one color over the other. Coffee's almost done. Okay, so let us
add Larceny to deck.
I'm seriously considered Larceny.
Add Shadow Sanctuary to deck.
Shadow Sanctuary is super powerful, great card.
Add 1,000 Cuts to deck.
1,000 Cut, never used it. I don't find it that useful, but 3 times your maximum dexterity is 15 damage. It could be 21 damage, because I've had my dex get up to 7. So if you're running a lot of preparations and a lot of other crazy shit, yeah, 1,000 Cuts might be a great card for you. You let me know what you use. All right, so I am going to choose Larceny because I've never played Larceny, and I like to play keep away from my opponent. I like to keep them without any energy. I like to make it impossible to hit me, and I like to use traps and other things on my enemy. I like to shut them down in every single aspect. So I'm going to choose Larceny. I know it's a shit card for me because I don't know how to use it, but I just want to use it because it could be fun. Of course, Shadow Sanctuary is probably a more powerful card for us. But let's just play with Larceny and see what happens.
Add Shadow Sanctuary to deck. Add Larceny to deck. Exploration. Settings. Settings.
All right, let's move on.
Settings. Area status. Mini boss abomination Asia. Restless Ghoul Brains. Crimson Graveler, a suspicious figure busy digging a size. Player gold 65.
All right, let's take on
Restless Ghoul Brains.
Let's take on the Ghoul first.
Restless Ghoul. You gain Pharaoh Weapon Enchantment. Enemy gains Disturbed Graves Enchantment. You gain Bonfire Enchantment. Enemy gain 22 armor stacks. Enemy gained 1 anger stacks. Your turn. You block the damage. Chalice of Blood. Block. Neutral.
There's a Chalice of Blood.
Life 3. On draw. Take 2 damage, then upgrade this by 2. 1 use. Gain 2 maximum health. Heavy. Grounded. Divine action.
That's
Legendary.
what it does.
Grounded. Grounded cards can't be altered. Copied or imbued. Heavy.
It gives
Heavy cards do
us
not get
2
reshuffled after your deck reaches 0
maximum
cards.
health.
Treasure. This card is part of the treasure pool and can be found through various events.
Okay, let's take
You take 3 damage. Block. Neutral 1.
Now
Gain
we
3
got
armor.
2 maximum
Action.
health.
Common.
That's how
armor.
it works.
When dealt damage. Take lay in wait. Block. Neutral. Lay in wait.
Let's put
you
a
gain 1
lay in
evasion stat.
wait.
You gain lay in wait enchantment. Block. Neutral 1. Gain 3 cleavers. Bonus. Neutral 1. Deal star 4 star
Let's
damage.
put on
Enemy has blocked this
cleavers.
attack. Enemy has blocked this attack. Enemy gain 3 bleeding stacks. Block. Neutral 1. Gain. I don't have enough energy. Block. Neutral. Player status. Bonfire. Block. Block. Character info. End turn. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy playing cards. Vile Bite. You block the damage. You gained 1 poison stacks. Vile Bite. You take 4 damage. You gained 1 poison stacks. Your turn. End turn. Character inf. Cleavers. +1. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Grievous injury. Dex ST. You take 1 damage. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes 3 damage. You gained 1 regenerate stacks. You heal 2 health. Enemy takes 3 damage. Healing potion. 1 use. Player status. Bonfire. Healing potion. Grievous injury. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes 3 damage. You heal 3 health. Enemy takes 2 damage. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2 damage. Frenzy. Cleavers. +1. Neutral 1. Character info. End turn. Enter. Enemy turn. Enemy playing cards. Vile Bite. You take 4 damage. You gained 1 poison stacks. Vile Bite. You take 4 damage. You gained 1 poison stacks. Your turn. End turn. Character in Cleavers. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Neutral. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Grievous injury. Dex S. You take 1 damage. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes 3 damage. You heal 3 health. Enemy takes 1 damage. End turn. Character Cleavers. Bonus. Enemy takes 2 damage. You gained 1 regenerate stacks. Enemy takes 2 damage. Enemy gained 3 bleeding stacks. Cleavers. Neutral 1. I don't have enough energy. Cleaver. Character. End turn. Enemy turn. End turn. Enemy playing cards. Clawing Strike. You take 3 damage. You take 3 damage. Your turn. You heal 1 health. End turn. Character info. Block. Lay in wait. Block. Lay in wait. Dex 1. You gained 1 evasion stacks. You gain lay in wait enchantment. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Grievous injury. Bonus. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes 6 damage. You heal 6 health. Enemy gains deep wound enchantment. Enemy takes 3 damage. Character info.
You notice that the bonus now activates when there's a possibility to also crit with an item, with a card. I love that. I love that new change.
Player gold 65. Area status.
That's
Disturbed
great
grave. Stacks 1 undead in the area,
accessibility.
gain 1 anger for every grave you disturbed.
All right, let's see what cards we get this time.
Player gold 65. Character info. Next. You gain 2 gold. Skip rewards. Area enemy status. Cunning plan. Spend all decks. Next turn you gain that much dex and draw that many extra cards. Action.
Ooh.
Uncommon. Cunning plan. Spend all decks. Next turn you gain that much dex and draw that many extra cards.
It's cool. Cunning plan is interesting.
Toxic Salve. Dex 1. Inflict 3 poison. Ambush. Double the poison on the target. Action. Common. Poison. After playing a card, take 1 damage, then decrease poison by 1. When gaining health, prevent 1 health per stack and reduce poison by 1 for each health prevented. Ambush. Ambush triggers whenever it is the first card played of the round. Preparation. Gain dex at the start of your next turn. Action. Common.
All right, we have 3 really good cards. 1 is unusual, and 2 are pretty much staples. All right, let's go over them. So,
Toxic Cunning Plan. Spend all dex. Next turn you gain that much dex and draw that many extra
Cunning
cards.
Plan
Action.
is
Uncommon.
a
Cunning
card.
Plan. Spend all dex.
we're
Next
going to
turn you gain that
spend
much dex
all
and
of
draw
our
that many extra cards.
dexterity, and then the next turn we'll get twice the amount of dexterity back, and we'll also get that many more card draws. Cunning Plan, excellent card for the weekly trial because the enemies all have armor on the very first turn that will drop off of them at the end of the turn. It isn't fortified armor. So fortified armor does not drop off. In this case, you don't have to deal with fortified armor, but I'm going to tell you something. Once you start dealing with fortified armor, you're going to hate yourself because it sucks. So we actually might want to consider this card because we could set up for our next turn. So that is
Enemy status. Cunning Plan.
Cunning Plan.
Spend all dex. Toxic Salve. Dex 1. Inflict 3
Toxic
poison.
Salve
Ambush. Double the poison
is
on the
an
target.
ambush
Action.
card.
Common. Poison. After playing a card,
Sorry
take
about
1
that.
damage. Cunning Plan. Spend all dex. Next turn you gain that much dex and draw that many
I
extra
can't
cards.
make the
Action.
voiceover be
Uncommon.
quiet,
Cunning
and so
Plan. Spend all
we're
dex.
going to talk
Next turn
over
you gain
each
that much dex
other,
and draw
talk
that many extra
under
cards.
each other, whatever. So, Toxic Salve is the second choice. Toxic Salve basically, if played as the first card of your turn, will not only give you its standard action, which is to give the enemy 3 stacks of poison, but it will also increase the stacks of poison already on the monster by 3. So that's a total of 6 stacks of poison. And if you have other things going on that do more poison, that's going to really benefit. So Toxic Salve is a great bard card. It's a great rogue card. It's a great hunter card. It's really powerful. Heck, it's a great warrior card. And why do you want to use poison? Well, because poison helps cut down all that incidental healing that a lot of monsters do. So I find that monsters in this game heal quite a bit. If you can prevent that healing, they die sooner, which cuts down on your damage. So it's efficient. So always have a little way of preventing monsters from healing, because there are some monsters in this game that they will blow you away because they have so much healing. So this is a possibility for us to choose.
Toxic Salve. Deck Preparation. Gain dex at the start of your next turn. Action. Common.
Preparation's really simple. It's a card that you play. It has no energy cost. Next turn, you will get 2 or 3 decks. I think it's 2.
Toxic Salve. Preparation. Gain dex at the start of your next turn. Action. Common.
Yeah, you'll get 2 decks at the start of your next turn. Why is it good? Because it costs nothing. And It's also very good because it costs nothing. And it's also very good because getting an extra 2 decks is a good way to open up with a great salvo of attacks. So how many preparations should you run? You can run as many as you want. It has no cost. But after you get 2 in your deck, you might want to slow down. Because if you get 3, you're going to start getting a slow deck. On its own, it doesn't do any damage. It's really a setup. So if you're doing setups, make sure you can draw cards. So that's really important. So if you're doing setups, make sure you're drawing lots of cards. You're playing traps that draw cards, snares that draw cards, special cards like Vanish that draw cards, because your deck gets slow, which means you're less effective, you're doing less damage. And if you're dealing with a monster who's setting up on you, which happens, they're going to knock your socks off because you've given them too much time to kill you. One of the examples of a monster that you can give too much time is a Cannoneer. If you give the Cannoneers too much time, he's going to blow you away because he's hitting you with those cannonballs. Those do a lot of damage. And you're going to want to kill him before he pops off a couple of cannonballs, okay? So I think I like the first card. It's a lot more creative a use of a card. So
Toxic Cunning Plan. Spend all deck. Toxic Salve. Cunning Plan. Spend all decks. Next turn you gain that much decks and draw that many extra cards.
Because
Action.
this is
Uncommon.
a great
Cunning Plan.
first turn
Spend all decks.
card.
Next turn you gain that much decks and draw that many extra cards.
But the problem is you've got to have decks to spin, so it has a cost. So if I was to play this card, I would, of course, take all my energy cards. I'd pop my card that sets me up for crit. Then I'd pop this card so that I saved all that energy. Then I'll get double it back on my next turn. So that's my plan. I don't know if it's going to work, but I think that's the card we're going to take. But that Toxic Salve is also a great card. So it's really hard to turn that card down because getting rid of their healing is extremely important. So it's a hard choice. So
Toxic Salve. Deck preparation. Add Cunning Plan to deck.
I think we're going to play around with Toxic Salve. I'm not quite ready for Cunning Plan yet.
Add Toxic Salve to deck. Exploration.
Toxic Salve
Settings.
is a great card.
Settings.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Settings. Area status. The mini boss Abomination H Ambling. Campsite A brief respite from the Broken Grave and Old and Broken Gravestone.
Oh, get a Broken Grave. What's her health?
Player use weapon power feral character use show deck. Player health 54.
All right, health is 54, so we're gonna go ahead and take a grave. We're gonna go ahead and take a campsite rest.
Broken Grave area status. Mini boss campsite A brief respite. Campsite A brief campfire A warm fire. Campfire A remove a card. Heal 20%. You heal 15 health. Exploration.
Cool.
Area status.
We
Disturbed
should
graves.
be
Stats
back
1
at
undead in the area
around
gain 1 anger for
70.
every mini broken grave and old player character info. Use weapon power show deck. Player health 69.
Yeah, we're at 69 health. That's what I do. I don't take the campsites unless my health is at least down by 20%.
Show deck. Use weapon power feral weapon use character info. Player gold 60. Broken grave and area status. Campsite A mini boss Abomination A shambling monstrosity. Broken grave and old and broken gravestone. Player gold 67. Broken grave and old and mini boss Abomination A shambling. Campsite A brief respite from the area status. Disturbed graves.
We
Stats 1
can
undead in the
take
area
on
gain
the
1 anger for every grave you
mini-boss.
disturbed.
I think let's take out the mini boss before we open up the gravesite. I don't want him having any more anger than he already has.
Campsite A brief respite from the perils. Mini boss Abomination A shambling monstrosity roams the graveyard.
These are going to be really hard because that torch is going to eat up all our cards. Actually, I might want to give him anger and see if we can find another card in that grave. So let's do the grave, then the boss.
Campsite A brief respite from the area status. Disturbed grave. The campsite mini boss Abomination A shambling monstrosity. Broken grave and old and broken graves. Broken grave and old. Broken tombstone A broken gravestone has scattered its broken tombstone A broken gravestone has scattered its rubble over a soft patch of soil. Open the grave. Broken tombstone you dig into the shallow grave, quickly uncovering a small stash of items. Continue. Card added. Card obtained. Grievous injury. Dex STR1 life. Chalice of blood. Healing potion. Cursed puzzle box. Neutral 4. Swipe the cost of the puzzle box with the card in hand. It becomes
card.
cursed. Cursed. Artifact.
Cursed.
Legendary. Treasure. This card is part of the treasure pool and can be found through various events.
Unless you get the card that converts this card. Cursed puzzle box is annoying because it hides and it's hard to get rid of it. And you think that you can get rid of it, you can't. So, yeah, it's a big pain. So what you want to do is turn the Cursed Puzzle Box into a better legendary card. But it's not going to be that easy, I can tell you right now.
Cursed Puzzle Box. Neutral 4. Swap the cost of the puzzle box with
I've
the card in
lost
hand.
many games
It becomes
because of this card.
Cursed. Broken tombstone as you pry the trinket from the muddy soil. An unsettling groan rises, catches you by surprise as
Oh,
the
we
bone
got a
flow reaches for
monster.
your
That's
throat.
good. That's okay. I don't mind a monster. I need some more cards.
Continue. You gain Feral Weapon Enchantment. Enemy gains Disturbed Graves Enchantment. You gain Bonfire Enchantment. Enemy gain 22 armor stacks. Enemy gain 2 anger stacks. Your turn. Player status. Bonfire.
Sometimes
Start of
when
turn.
you
Area
open up
card.
graves, you will get monsters. Totally okay if you're doing the weekly trial because actually you need as many cards. Well, you don't need as many cards, but you need a lot of cards to deal with the bonfire effect.
Area status. Player status. Block. Player health 69. Show deck. Player energy. Deck. End turn. Character info. Block. Neutral. Larceny. Steal your foe's remaining energy and convert it to a type of your choice. Charges.
Oh, that's
2
gonna be
2.
good.
Action. On. Block. Larceny. Steal your foe's remaining energy. I cannot play this card.
Oh, he doesn't have any energy. That's right.
Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal
So
2
larceny is
damage.
only
Frenzy.
good
Attack again and inflict 3
maybe.
bleeding.
It's
Melee
only
basic
good if
attack.
our enemy's
Common.
building up
Bleeding.
energy.
When dealt down. Cursed puzzle box. Neutral 4. Swap the cost of the puzzle box with the card in hand. It becomes cursed. Cursed. Artifact. Legendary. Treasure. This card is part of the treasure pool and can be found through various events.
I need to learn how to play with the cursed puzzle box.
Healing potion. 1 U. Player status. Bonfire. Healing. Cursed puzzle box. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal. Larceny. Steal your. Block. Neutral 1. You gain 3 armor stacks. Character info. End turn. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy playing cards. Vile Bite. You take 2 damage. You gained 1 poison stacks. Vile Bite. You take 5 damage. You gained 1 poison stacks. Your turn. Player energy. Dex. 1. End turn. Character. Block. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Grievous injury. Dex. You take 1 damage. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes 3 damage. Enemy gains Deep Wound Enchantment. 1. Ellipsis.
Oh, yes. The good thing about Grievous Wounds, I keep forgetting its name, is that it can give the enemy a deep wound. If the enemy gets 5 deep wounds, they are automatically slain. And the other good thing about deep wounds is that they get a bleed every turn and it stays on permanently. It's awesome. You don't get deep wounds that often, but they're fun when they go off.
Cleavers. Bonus. Neutral 1. Deal 2. Player status. Poison. Cleavers. Cleavers. Bonus. Block. Neutral 1. Gain 3 armor. Cleavers. Bonus. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes 2 damage. You gained 1 regenerate stacks. Enemy takes 2 damage. Enemy gained 3 bleeding stacks. Cleavers. Bonus. Enemy takes 2 damage. Enemy takes 3 damage. Enemy gained 3 bleeding stacks. Enemy takes 2 damage. Enemy takes 2 damage. Block. Neutral 1. Cleavers. I don't have enough energy. Block. Cleaver. Player status. Bonfire. Cleaver. Block. Character info. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy gained 1 bleeding stacks. Enemy playing cards. Vile Bite. You take 5 damage. You gained 1 poison stacks. Your turn. Character info. Cleavers. Toxic Salve. Lay in wait. Dex 1. Gain 1 evasion. You gained 1 evasion stacks. You gain lay in wait enchantment. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal star 4 star damage. Player status. Lay in wait. Gain cleavers. Neutral 1. Surge of dexterity. Toxic Salve. Dex 1. Inflict 3 poison. Cleavers. Toxic Salve. Cleavers. Character info. Cleavers. Enemy takes 6 damage. You gained 1 regenerate stacks. Enemy takes 5 damage. Character info. Player gold 60. Area status. Enemy status. Area. Player gold 60. Character info. Next. You gain 3 gold. Skip rewards.
All right. What are we going to get this time?
Area status. Enemy status. Harmful intent. Dex 1. Add 2 snares to the foe's deck. Ambush. Upgrade all snares by 4. Action. Common. Ambush. Ambush triggers whenever it is the first card played of the round. Snare. 1 use. Take left brace 1 plus. Temp value. Right brace piercing damage. Upgrade all remaining snares by 1. Draw a card.
Harmful intent. Great card.
Acquisition. Neutral 1. Pay 0 gold to delve a holy card and add it to your deck. Action. Common. Delve. Select 1 of 3 randomly selected cards.
Acquisition. If you want to delve into a little bit of holy stuff, that's the card for you.
Utility belt. Neutral 2. Activate to draw a card and restore 1 durability of all other equipment. 2 durability. Equipment. Common.
I never get this card to work, but if you want to draw a card and you want to pay 2 energy, this one will do it for you. I find it very lackluster, so it isn't a great choice. Okay, so here are my 3 choices.
Acquisition. Harm. Enemy status. Bleeding. Stack. Harm. Acquisition. Utility belt. Add harmful intent to deck. Utility belt. Acquisition. Harmful intent. Dex 1. Add harmful intent to deck.
All right, so we have harmful intent, which is going to put 2 traps in our opponent's deck. Basically, a number of snares are going to be put into the enemy's hand, or their deck. The deck is basically the undrawn cards your enemy has. You're going to put several snares in there, probably like 2 or 3. If while drawing cards, the enemy draws that snare, they're interrupted and they take damage from your snare and or the effect of your snare. Very good, because you want to slow your enemy down. You want to sabotage their efforts. Also, there's a certain amount of damage that comes from the enemy drawing your snares. And you can also increase the damage of these snares with this card. Snares are great in this game. I think they could be utilized even more because they're quite fun. And I think they will be in the future. But I love them. And I'm wanting to do a deck that's all snares, but it isn't very good. But it is fun to play with them a little bit. So yeah, that is our first choice. Our second choice is...
Utility belt. Neutral 2. Acquisition. Neutral 1. Pay 0 gold to dealt. A holy card and add it to your deck. Action. Common.
Acquisition.
Belt. Select one of utility belt.
Is
Neutral
a
2.
good card
Activate to draw a card and restore
if
one
you
durability
want
of all
to
other
play
equipment.
with
2
holy.
durability. Equipment.
I
Common.
have never chosen this card, but if you want to play with holy, grab acquisition. That's our second choice. Our third choice is utility belt. Basically, that's equipment that goes into your status bar, which is what you're wearing. So in this game, you not only have action cards in your hand, but you also have equipment you wear, which is really fantastic. So I'm not a big fan of utility belt. Some of you may have done utility belt and swear by it. I don't know. I find it lackluster, but let me know in the comments if you use utility belt. I never usually use utility belt. I find it's slow. It makes my deck slow. It's much more of an artificer kind of thing. If you're really into being like Iron Man and stuff like that, you really want to be an artificer, an engineer of some kind. That feels like that kind of build. So I feel like one day they ought to add the artificer class to this game so that everybody is doing crazy tinkering and mechanical stuff. Because artificers are very cool, but they're very OP, but they're fun. So let's choose the first option.
Acquisition. Harmful enemy status. Bleeding. Harmful intent.
Harmful intent.
Add 2 snares to the foe's deck.
That is a great
Upgrade all
card.
snares by 4. Action.
It upgrades snares.
Ambush triggers
and it
whenever it is the
puts
first
2
card played of the round.
snares into the
Snare.
enemy's
1
deck.
use. Take left brace 1 plus. Temp value. Right brace piercing damage. Upgrade all remaining snares by 1. Draw a card.
Now remember, when you play Harmful Intent, you must play it as the first card of your turn, or else its effects do not work. So that's the thing. It's an ambush. Ambushes have to be played as the first card no matter what when you play your hand. You also have many cards in the game that can reset your ambush game mechanic. That way you can then again play the card later in your hand on your turn, okay? So just keep in mind, ambush must be played as the first card.
Acquisition. Neutral. Utility belt. Add harmful intent to deck. Exploration. Settings. Settings.
Okay, we're getting some really good cards. We're getting some really good cards.
Settings. Area status. Crimson Graverberet suspicious figure. Mini boss abomination age. Campsite a brief respite from the perils of adventure.
We could save the campsite. I don't think we're that hurt.
Mini boss. Crimson Graverberet suspicious figure busy digging a
Let's
sizable
skip
hole.
the Crimson Grabber.
Crimson Graverberet. You gain feral weapon enchantment. Enemy gains disturbed
I wanna
grace
get rid
enchantment.
of most
you
of
gain
these
bonfire
guys.
enchantment. Enemy gain 26 armor stacks.
I'm hoping
Enemy
to
gains
level
cowardice enchantment.
before I
Your
take
turn.
on the mini
Cleavers.
boss.
Neutral 1. Healing potion. 1 use. Gain cleavers. Character info. Cleavers. Healing potion. Grievous injury. Dex STR. Lay in wait. Dex 1. Gain cleavers. Neutral 1. Player status. Bonfire. Cleavers. Lay in wait. Dex. You gain 1 evasion stacks. You gain lay in wait enchantment.
Well, lay in wait and grievous wound.
Grievous injury. Dex STR 1 life 1.
Grievous
Heal
injury,
star 6
I
star
mean.
damage. Healing potion. Grievous injury. You take 1 damage. Enemy has blocked this attack.
He blocked it, of course. Gotta remember, they all have extra armor on their first turn.
Player status. Bonfire. Cleavers. Healing potion. Cleavers. Character in end turn. Enemy
So
turn.
popping
End turn.
off crits is
Enemy
not the
playing
best
cards.
idea.
Aim and pray. You gain 5 burning stacks. Shovel strike. You block the damage. Your turn.
Better to just
Character
block.
info. Harmful intent. Cleavers. Harmful intent. Bonus. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2 damage. Frenzy. Attack again and inflict 3 bleeding. Melee basic attack. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Plus cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2 damage. Player status. Burning. Cleavers. 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 Character info. End turn. You take 5 damage. Enemy turn. Enter. Enemy playing cards. Shovel strike. You take 3 damage. You gained 1 dazzled stacks. Aim and pray. You gain 5 burning stacks. Your turn.
This guy is
Character
trying to
info.
burn me down.
Block. Neutral 1. Grievous injury. Dex STR. Surge of dexterity. Toxic salve. Player status. Burning. Toxic. Surge of grievous injury. Dex STR 1 life 1. Deal 3 you take 1 damage. Enemy takes 3 damage. Toxic salve. Enemy gain 3 poison stacks. Block. Neutral 1. You gain 3 armor stacks. Character info. End turn. Character. Surge of dexterity. Player status. Burning. Stacks. Player status. Bonfire. Player status. Burning. Stacks. Cleavers. Bonus. Neutral 1. Enemy takes 2 damage. You gained 1 regenerate stacks. Enemy takes 2 damage. Enemy gained 3 bleeding stacks. Player status. Burning. Character info. End turn. You take 10 damage. Enemy turn. Enemy playing cards. Aim and pray. Enemy takes 1 damage. Enemy heals 3. Shovel strike. You block the damage. Your turn. You heal 1 health. Character info.
That burn is so substantial.
Healing potion. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2 damage. The cleavers. Lay in wait. Dex 1. Toxic salve. Bonus. Player status. Toxic salve. Bonus. Dex 1. Inflict 3 poison. Ambush. Double the poison. Enemy gain 3 poison stacks. Enemy gain 3 poison stacks. Healing potion. Character info. Healing potion. You heal 15 health. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2 damage. The cleavers. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Character info. Cleavers. The cleavers. Lay in wait. Deck. You gained 1 evasion stacks. You gain lay in wait enchantment. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal star 4 star damage. The cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal star 4 star damage. I don't have enough energy. Cleavers. Character in end turn. You take 10 damage. Enemy turn. Enemy playing cards. Shovel strike. Enemy takes 1 damage. You block the damage. Shovel strike. Enemy takes 1 damage. You take 3 damage. You gained 1 dazzled stacks. Next.
Got him. Whew,
Character
man,
info.
that freaking burn was sick.
Player gold 70. Character next. Show deck. Player health 37.
Wow, he really brought our health down by a ton.
Area status. Enemy status. Disturb areas. Player health 37. Player health 30. Area status. Player character info. Player area status. Enemy status. Enemy status. Enemy status. Enemy area. Player gold set. Character info. Next. Exploration. Use weapon power. Feral weapon. Use your weapon power to start next combat
Why
with the
didn't
Fury.
he give us
Passive. Gain 1 regenerate on every third hit.
Sir? He didn't give us rewards.
Enemy aura. Area status. Settings.
That was effed up. That guy didn't give us any rewards. That sucked.
Area status. Mini boss abomination a shambling monster. Campsite a brief respite from the perils of
Let's
adventure.
rest.
Campsite a brief. Campfire a camp. Remove a card. Heal 20%. You heal 15 health. Exploration. Area status. Disturb graves. Settings. Area status. Church Grim the Hound-like creature eyes you. Enemy aura. Campsite a brief respite from the perils of
Let's
adventure.
rest again.
Campfire a warm. Remove a card. Heal 20%. You heal 15 health. Exploration. Area status.
Whew,
Disturb
that was
graves.
good. We
Stats
healed
2
about
undead in the area.
30
Gain 1
between
anger
those
for every
two
dead end.
campsites.
Church. Enemy aura. Player gold. Character info. Use weapon power. Show deck. Current player health 67.
All right, we're back up to 67 health. I think our maximum health is 75. So we're at the point that we don't really need a campsite right now. But again, we're trying to level before we take on the mini boss.
Show deck. Current. Use weapon power. Feral weapon. Use your weapon power. Character info. Enemy aura. Graveyard shift. At the start of the turn. Game left. Player gold 70. Character info. Enemy. Area status. Disturb settings. Area status. Dead end and obstacle blocks. Mini boss abomination Asia. Church Grim the Hound like creature. Enemy aura. Graveyard. Church Grim the Hound like
take on
creature
the
as you
doggo.
rarely. Church Grim the Hound like. You gain feral weapon enchantment. Enemy gains disturb graves enchantment. Enemy gains graveyard shift enchantment. You gain bonfire enchantment. Enemy gain 20 armor stacks. Enemy gain 2 anger stacks. Your turn. Surge of cleavers. Neutral cleavers. Player status. Players cleaver. Surge of dexterity. Cleavers.
Didn't get
Neutral
any
1.
grievous-
Deal 2 damage.
didn't get
Frenzy.
grievous
Attack again and inflict
injury.
3 bleeding. Cleavers. Larceny. Steal your foe's remaining energy and I cannot play this card. Cleavers. New character info. End turn. Enter. Enemy turn. Enemy gain 2 warrior stacks.
Larceny needs
Enemy
to
playing
be
cards.
persistent. That's where we
How?
need to add enchantment to larceny.
Your turn.
It's a situational
Character info.
card.
Block. Cleavers. Grievous injury. Dex ST. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes 1 damage. Lay in wait. Dex 1. Gain 1 evasion. You gained 1 evasion stacks. You gain lay in wait enchantment. Block. Neutral 1. Gain cleavers. Bonus. Neutral. Enemy takes 4 damage. You gained 1 regenerate stacks. Enemy takes 2 damage. Enemy gained 3 bleeding stacks. Player status. Bonfire. Grievous injury. Dex STR 1. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes 3 damage. You heal 3 health. Enemy takes 3 damage. End turn. Character info. Block. Neutral 1. Player status. Bonfire. Block. End turn. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy gain 2 barrier stacks. Enemy playing cards. Grab a bite. You block the damage. Howl. Your turn. You heal 1 health. Character info. You gain 3 toxic salve. Dex 1. Harmful intent. Bonus. Dex 1. Add 2 snares. Block. Neutral 1. Gain 3 armor. Act. Cursed puzzle box. Neutral 4. Swap the terror. Neutral 1. On draw. Player status. Doom. Terror. Cursed puzzle. Block. Neutral 1. Toxic salve. Dex 1. Inflict 3 poison. Enemy gain 3 poison stacks. Character info. End turn. End turn. You take 1 damage. Enemy turn. Enemy gain 2 barrier stacks. Enemy playing cards. Howl. Enemy takes 1 damage. Howl. Enemy takes 1 damage. Your turn. Character info. Cleavers. Neutral. Larceny. Steal your foe's remaining energy and convert it to a type of cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2 damage. Lay in wait. Dex 1. Block. Neutral 1. Player status. Block. Lay in wait. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Larceny. I cannot play this card. Cleavers. Neutral. Lay in wait. Dex 1. You gain 1 evasion stacks. You gain lay in wait enchantment. Player status. Lay in wait. Gain 1. Block. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Larceny. Steal your foe's remain. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal star 4 star damage. The enemy has blocked this attack. Character info. Larceny. Steal cleavers. Enemy takes 2 damage. You gained 1 regenerate stacks. Enemy takes larceny. Character info. End turn. End turn. Enemy turn. Enemy gain 2 barrier stacks. Enemy playing cards. Grab a bite. Next.
Okay, we got him. That's cool. Didn't give us too much trouble, but the doggles can get really bad, especially if they start pinning you down.
Player gold 70. Area status. Disturbed grade. Player character info. Next.
Let's hope we level soon.
You gain 2 gold. Skip rewards.
Yes, you can look at how close you are to leveling. I'm just too lazy to do it.
Character info. Player gold 72. Area status. Enemy status. Disturbed grades. Sinner. Settings. Sinner. Dex 1.
All right.
Enemy status.
We got some rewards.
Stats 1. Enemy stat. Sinner. Dex 1. Gain 2 gold and add a sin to your deck. Sinister. Corrupted. Swap this. Corrupted
okay,
action.
we got
Common.
Sinner.
Corrupted. Viper's touch. Dex 1.
Viper's
inflict 3
touch.
poison. Toxicity.
And
Dex 1.
toxicity.
Inflict 5 poison. Your poison deals 1 additional damage. Action. Common. Poison. After playing a card, take 1 damage, then decrease poison by 1. When gaining health, prevent 1 health per stack and reduce poison by 1 for each health prevented.
Unless you're an expert, stay away from Sinner cards. They are rough. It's basically based on the biblical, the 7 deadly sins, which I won't go into because I don't want to sound like I'm so old that I know all this stuff, but I do. But you want to stay away from those cards unless you know what you're doing. Again, above my pay grade. I played with these cards a little bit. They seem to interact a little bit with corruption. They seem to interact a little bit with rogue decks, but I don't understand them. Sorry. The second card is
Viper's Touch. Sinner. Viper's Touch.
Viper's
Dex
Touch.
1. Inflict 3 poison. Double the target's poison if it has 20 or more charm. 0. Action.
This is
Common.
a card
Poison.
that
After playing
is
a card,
for
take
charm
1 damage,
decks.
then decrease poison by 1. When gaining health, prevent 1 health per stack and reduce poison by 1 for each health prevented.
This is a card that interacts with charm and poison. I don't know if we're going to go that direction one day. Again, I'm going to save my bard decks for when I have my classes built up a little bit more.
Toxicity. Dex 1. Inflict 5 poison. Your poison deals 1 additional damage. Action.
Toxicity is a
poison.
great
After playing a
card.
card, take 1 damage, then decrease poison by 1. When gaining health, prevent 1 health per stack and reduce poison by 1 for each health prevented.
So toxicity does 2 things that are really great. It gives an enormous amount of poison stacks to your enemy, 5, and it increases the damage and poison from 1 to 2, or even +1 if you have already +5 on the enemy. It will hit for +6 or 7. So toxicity is great. It's a great card. We definitely want to hurt our enemy while preventing them from healing. It's a great anti-heal. It's a good amount of subtle, like DPS. It's really good. And I think we're going to choose that card because I definitely don't want any sins. You know?
Add Sinner to deck. Add Viper's Touch to deck. Add Toxicity to deck.
We're going to add toxicity to our deck.
Exploration. Settings.
All right. And of course, we will go over our deck before we fight the mini-boss.
Settings. Settings. Area status. A mini-boss abomination A shambling. Fancy tombstone A rather fancy tombs. Dead end and obstacle blocks your path. Fancy tombstone A rather fancy tombstone.
Let's open up the fancy tombstone.
Fancy tombstone A. Fancy tombstone. Fancy tombstone. Pry the grave open. Leave the grave undisturbed. Pry the grave open. You gain 30 gold. Fancy tombstone. You dig into the shallow grave, quickly uncovering a small stash of 30 gold.
Nice 30 gold. That was sweet. When you need to open up the second half of the hero's graveyard, you need to pry open or lift up the fancy gravestone. It's kind of like a little puzzle, a very simple puzzle, but a fun puzzle nonetheless. And that will give you money. If you're a certain class, you can do it. If you are a squish, which is a cloth class, you're not strong enough to do any damage to these gravestones. So you will just have to just activate them and move on to the next section. As far as I know.
Lead. Exploration. Player gold 102. Dead end and obstacle blocks your player gold 102. Character info. Dead end areas settings. Area status. Mini boss abomination A shambling. Boss the pale ward and the grim figure treats its graveyard like a prison.
We have opened up. So basically, it's opened up the boss. So the boss is available. The mini boss is available. I feel we should probably take on the boss, and then if we have enough energy left, we take on the mini boss.
Mini boss area status settings. Areas mini boss the pale enemy aura death calling. At the start of the turn, inflict 1 vulnerable.
We're also going to get a vulnerable. Vulnerable is very bad. It means we take 10% more damage. It's very, very bad. Let's go ahead and use our superpower. And if we are not very hurt from the final boss, we'll go ahead and take on the mini boss.
Dead end and player carrot use weapon power show deck. Current use weapon power.
And I
weapon,
told
use your weapon power to start next
I
combat
would
with
show
the
you my deck.
Passive. Gain 1 regenerate on every third
show
hit.
you my deck.
Character info. Player gold 102. Use weapon power show deck. Player health 68.
We have 68 health, and here's my deck.
Show deck. Use weapon power show deck. Cursed puzzle box. Neutral 4. Swap the cost of the puzzle box with the card in hand. It becomes cursed. Cursed utility. Legendary. Treasure. This card is part of the treasure pool and can be found through various events. Grievous injury. Dex STR1 life 1. Deal 3 damage. Blood loss. Life drain. Rebound. 2/4. Inflict a deep wound melee. Rare. Rebound. Rebound counts the number of times you play the card, and triggers its special effect when it reaches its rebound number. Deep wound. Inflicts bleeding every turn. A target who has sustained 5 or more deep wounds is instantly slain. Bloodlust. Bloodlust requires the enemy to have the bleeding affliction. Life drain. Cards with life drain restore health. Health. Equal to the damage they deal. Grievous injury. Dex STR1 life 1. Deal 3 damage. Bloodlust. Life drain. Rebound. 2/4. Inflict a deep wound melee. Rare. Rebound. Rebound counts the number of times you play the card, and triggers its special effect when it reaches its rebound number. Deep wound. Inflicts bleeding every turn. A target who has sustained 5 or more deep wounds is instantly slain. Bloodlust. Bloodlust requires the enemy to have the bleeding affliction. Life drain. Cards with life drain restore health. Health. Equal to the damage they deal. Larceny. Steal your foe's remaining energy and convert it to a type of your choice. Charges. 2/2 utility. Uncommon. Block. Neutral 1. Gain 3 armor utility. Common. Armor. When dealt damage, take 1 less damage per stack of armor. Armor fades at the start of the turn. Block. Neutral 1. Gain 3 armor utility. Common. Armor. When dealt damage, take 1 less damage per stack of armor. Armor fades at the start of the turn. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2 damage. Frenzy. Attack again and inflict 3 bleeding melee. Common. Bleeding. When dealt damage, take 1 additional damage per stack of bleeding, then reduce bleeding stacks by 1. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal 2 damage. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Cleavers. +1. Neutral 1. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal. Harmful intent. Dex 1. Add 2 snares to the foe's deck. Ambush. Upgrade all snares by 4 utility. Common. Ambush. Ambush triggers whenever it is the first card played of the round. Snare. 1 use. Take left brace 1+. Temp value. Right brace piercing damage. Upgrade all remaining snares by 1. Draw a card. Lay in wait. Dex 1. Gain 1 evasion. Your next damage is a critical hit utility. Common. Evasion. When dealt melee damage, reduce the first damage taken to 0, then decrease evasion by 1. Evasion fades at the start of the turn. Critical hit. Critical hits deal double damage. Surge of Dexterity. Gain Dex and Conjure, a basic attack utility. Common. Conjure. Creates a temporary card that is removed after combat. Surge of Dexterity. Gain Dex and Conjure, a basic attack utility. Common. Conjure. Creates a temporary card that is removed after combat. Toxic Salve. Dex 1. Inflict 3 poison. Ambush. Double the poison on the target utility. Common. Poison. After playing a card, take 1 damage, then decrease poison by 1. When gaining health, prevent 1 health per stack and reduce poison by 1 for each health prevented. Ambush. Ambush triggers whenever it is the first card played of the round. Toxicity. Dex 1. Inflict 5 poison. Your poison deals 1 additional damage utility. Common. Poison. After playing a card, take 1 damage, then decrease poison by 1. When gaining health, prevent 1 health per stack and reduce poison by 1 for each health prevented. Closed deck list. Show deck. Current cards in deck. 18.
Okay, we have 18 cards in our deck. That was a completely cool little way for me to show you all the cards. I'm going to try to do that in the future so that I'm not talking over it. Though I should have waited about 10 more seconds, so just in case voiceover synced us, I'd be talking over it right now. So sorry about that. If it does that, I apologize. That's an iOS screen record bug. I can't do anything about it.
Use weapon power, feral weapon. Use your weapon power to start next
All right,
combat
we're
with a
gonna
fury.
start our
Passive.
special.
Gain 1 regenerate on every third hit.
Let's activate our special.
Character info. Use weapon power, feral weapon. Use your weapon power to start next combat with a fury. Passive. Gain 1 regenerate on every third hit. Use weapon power, feral weapon. Use your weapon power to start next combat with a fury. Passive. Gain 1 regenerate on every third hit.
All right, let's hope we're going to have a Fury in our hand, so that's cool. Let's try to get off as many evasions as possible. This guy hits really hard, and then I'm going to try to take him out and take as little damage as possible.
Character info. Player gold 102. Dead end. Enemy aura. Death call. Boss the Pale Ward in the Grim Figure Tree. Mini boss Abomination A Shambling Monster. Boss the Pale Ward in the Grim Figure Tree.
Let's take on the Pale Warden.
Mini boss. You gain Feral Weapon Enchantment. Enemy gains Disturbed Graves Enchantment. Enemy gains Death Calling Enchantment. You gain Bonfire Enchantment. Enemy gain 42 armor stacks. Enemy gain 3 anger stacks. Your turn. Fury.
Since he's
gain
got
1 anger.
a
Take 1
lot
damage.
of
Draw a card.
armor,
Conjuration. Common. Anger.
I'm
Increases the
not gonna
damage
waste
dealt by
any of
actions
my
by 1
cards
per
on
stack of
him
anger.
right now.
Toxic Salve. Bonus. Dex 1. Inflict 3 poison. Ambush. Double the poison on the target.
We will
Action.
inflict
Common.
poison, though.
Poison. Enemy gain 3 poison stacks.
Because he
Enemy
can't
gain 3
avoid
poison
it.
stacks. Cursed Puzzle Box. Neutral 4. Cleavers. +1. Block. Neutral 1. Gain 3 armor. Action. Common. Cleaver. Cursed Puzzle Box. Block. Neutral 1. Fury. Gain 1 anger. You gained 1 anger stacks. You take 1 down. Cursed Puzzle Box. Block. You gain 3 armor stacks. Cleavers. +1. Neutral. Carrot. And turn. Character. Cursed Puzzle Box. Cleavers. Cleavers. Neutral. Block. I don't have enough energy. Player status. Block. Cleavers. Cursed Puzzle. Character info. And turn. Enemy turn. You gained 1 vulnerable stacks. Enemy playing cards. Entomb. Enemy takes 1 damage. You gained 1 pin stacks. Drain essence. Enemy takes 1 damage. You take 8 damage. Enemy heals 4. Your turn. You gain 2 doom stacks.
We got 2 doom stacks and a pin. Very bad.
Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal star. Grievous injury. Disabled. Dex ST. Surge of Dexterity. Disabled. Terror. Disabled. Neutral. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal star 3. Player status. Doom. Stacks 2. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal star 3 star damage. Frenzy. Attack again and inflict 3 bleeding. Melee basic attack. Common. Bleeding. When dealt. Terror. Surge. Grievous injury. Disabled. Cleavers. Neutral. Character info. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal star 3 star damage. Character, end turn. End turn. You take 2 damage. Enemy turn. You gained 1 vulnerable stats. Enemy playing cards. Grim Reaping. You take 10 damage. Your turn.
Ouch. Oh
Character
boy.
info.
Very bad.
Grievous injury. Dex STR1 life 1. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes 4 damage. Cleavers. Bonus. Neutral 1. Enemy takes 3 damage. You gained 1 regenerate stacks. Enemy takes 3 damage. Enemy gained 3 bleeding stacks. Cleavers. Bonus. Neutral. Enemy takes 3 damage. Enemy takes 3 damage. Enemy gained 3 bleeding stacks. Enemy takes 3 damage. Enemy takes 2 damage. Toxicity. Dex 1. Enemy gain 5 poison stacks. Player status. Vulnerable. Stacks. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal star 3 star damage. Character info. Cleavers. I don't have enough energy. Character. End turn.
We got off good that time.
Player energy. End turn. Enemy turn. You gained 1 vulnerable stacks. Enemy playing cards. Bone armor. Enemy takes 2 damage. Enemy gain 5 armor stacks. Drain essence. Enemy takes 2 damage. You take 13 damage. Enemy deals 10. Your turn. You heal 1 health.
Whew,
Character
man.
info.
I don't know if we can get him, but we're gonna try.
Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal star 3 star. Larceny. Steal your foe's remaining energy and convert it to a type of your choice. Cursed puzzle box. Neutral. Larceny. I cannot play this card. Cursed puzzle box. Neutral. Cleavers. +1. Neutral. Block. Neutral 1. Player status. Vulnerable. Block. You gain 3 armor stacks. End turn. Player energy. Dex. 1. Show deck. Current. Player. End turn. Character. Cleavers. Enemy has blocked this attack. You gained 1 regenerate stacks. Cursed puzzle box. Neutral 4. I don't have enough energy. Cleavers. +1. I don't have enough energy. Player status.
Yeah,
vulnerable.
we're not getting
Stacks 3
off
take 10%
much.
more Cleavers. Cursed puzzle box.
Bonfire is really
Neutral 4.
hurting us.
Swap the larceny. Character. End turn. Enemy turn.
And
you
we
gain 1
didn't-
vulnerable stacks.
we didn't
Enemy
level
playing
up,
cards.
that's another
Grim
bad
Reaping.
thing.
You take 8 damage. Your turn. You heal 1 health. Character
Whew.
info.
All right, come on. We got to survive here.
End turn. Player energy. Dex. 2. Show deck. Current card. Player health 27.
We only got 27 health, so we barely can make it by 2 more turns.
Show deck. Current cards in player energy. End turn. Character. Block. Neutral 1. Toxic salve.
And
Bonus.
yes, he
Dex
ate.
1. Inflict 3 poison.
He ate our grievous
Ambush. Double the
injury.
poison on the target.
The bonfire
Action.
ate
Common.
our grievous
Poison.
injury
After
right
block.
away.
Toxic salve. Bonus. Dex 1. Inflict 3 poison. Enemy gain 3 poison stacks. Enemy gain 3 poison stacks.
Oh, we got our toxic salve ambush off.
Cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal star 3. Cleavers. Neutral 1. Player status. Vulnerable. Cleavers. Cleavers. Toxicity. Dex 1. Inflict 5. Enemy gain 5 poison stacks. Cleavers. Neutral. I don't have enough energy. Player status.
We got off a
vulnerable.
bunch of
Stacks 4
poison.
player status. Your players. Cleavers. Block. Character info. Block. I don't have enough energy. Character info. End turn.
Let's hope it helps.
Enemy turn. You gained 1 vulnerable stacks. Enemy playing cards. Entomb. Enemy takes 3 damage. You gained 1 pin stacks. Bone armor. Enemy takes 3 damage. Enemy gain 5 armor stacks. Your turn.
Oh,
You
that
gain
really
16
did
stacks.
good. That was a
Character
good
info.
round for us. Because of toxicity, we got off a lot of damage on him.
Grievous injury. Dex STR1 life 1. Deal star 4 star damage.
We're gonna
Blood
pop
loss.
that.
Life drain. Cleavers. Plus cursed puzzle box. Terror. Disable. Cursed puzzle. Terror. Cleavers. Neutral. Player status. Cleavers. Terror. Cursed cleavers. Plus grievous injury. You take 1 damage. Enemy has blocked this attack. Character info. Cleavers. Plus 1. Enemy takes 3 damage. You gained 1 regenerate stacks. Enemy takes 4 damage. Enemy gained 3 bleeding stacks. Enemy takes 4 damage. Enemy takes 3 damage.
Perfect.
Terror. Cursed puzzle box.
We're doing
Neutral 4.
good.
Swap. Terror.
Come
Neutral
on,
1.
we could just
On draw.
survive.
Gains cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal star 3 star damage. Frenzy. Attack. Player status. Cleavers. I don't have enough energy. Terror. Cursed puzzle box. Character info. End turn. You take 4 damage. Enemy turn. You gained 1 vulnerable stats. Enemy playing cards. Grim Reaping. Enemy takes 3 damage. You take 13 damage. Your turn. You
We're
heal 1
almost
health.
dead.
Character info.
If we can't beat him here, we're dead. Let's see how much health he has. I think we lose.
Larceny. Player status. Vulnerable. Area status. Enemy status. Disturbed graves. Undead in the area. Enemy status. Press for detailed enemy information. Enemy name the Pale Warden. Enemy health 4. Enemy energy
he's
0.
got 4 health.
Enemy hand.
We can do
Attack.
this.
Heal. Hex. Enemy description. The
We
Grim
can
figure
do
treats
it.
its graveyard
He
like a
only has
prison.
4 health.
Enemy status. Disturbed graves. Area status. Player status. Vulnerable. Larceny. Cursed puzzle box. Neutral 4. Larceny. I cannot play this card. Character info.
I haven't been able to get off larceny yet. We got to figure out how that works.
Larceny. Steal. Cursed puzzle box. Neutral cleavers. Neutral 1. Deal star 3. Grievous injury. Bonus. Dex STR1 life. You take 1 damage. Enemy takes
Got
4
him.
damage. You heal 4 health. Enemy gains deep wound enchantment. Enemy takes 5 damage.
That was
Character
a hard
info.
fight. He hits like a truck. His health pool's not that huge, but he hits hard, you know?
Player gold 102.
Okay, cool. We're doing good. We're doing good. Baby gold approved. We survived our first boss.
Area status. Disturbed graves. Stacks 3 undead in
Let's
the
see
area.
what
Gain 1 anger for every
rewards.
grave you disturbed.
I think we're really close to leveling.
Player gold 1. Character info. Next. You gain 7 gold. Skip rewards. Area stat. Enemy status. Crescendo. Dex 2. If you are currently performing, perform 6 and start a new performance. Charges. 2/2. Action. Rare. Perform. Increase your current performance by X. Or start a new performance.
Our first card is for bards who like to perform.
Spin the web. Dex 1. This combat. Snares inflict charmed and poison equal to the damage they deal. Enchantment.
Ooh.
Rare. Charm. Lose the battle if your health is less than your charm. When
We
dealt
got
non-piercing
web.
damage, remove an equal amount of charm.
That's one of those things that you fight in the Haunted Mansion. There's some courtiers who drop that web. Man, that thing is deadly. You get caught up in too many webs and traps, you are dead as a doorknob.
Tactical retreat. Dex 1. Gain 1 evasion. Ambush. Conjure 2 random arrows. Action. Common. Evasion. When dealt melee damage, reduce the first damage taken to 0, then decrease evasion by 1. Evasion fades at the start of the turn. Ambush. Ambush triggers whenever it is the first card played of the round.
And we got another ambush card. So we got a good selection of cards, a lot of choices. Of course, I'm probably going to lean toward traps right now. They tend to be very effective in this kind of mix and match deck. But let's go over the 3 cards and see which one we're going to choose.
Spin the web. Crescendo. Dex 2. If you are currently
We
performing,
got
perform
Crescendo.
tricks and start a new performance.
I don't
Charges,
think
2/2.
so.
Spin the web. Dex
Spin
1.
the
This
web,
combat.
which
Snares
is
inflict charms
really
and poison equal to the
good.
damage they
That's
deal.
a choice.
Tactical retreat.
Tactical
Dex 1.
retreat,
Gain 1 evasion.
really good
Ambush.
too.
Add crescendo to deck.
So we have to decide. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and dismiss Crescendo. It's really good if you're in a band, but no, we're not going to use that one. We're not quite ready for that. That's above our pay grade.
Add spin the web to deck.
Spin the web is a really strong possibility. Great if you're playing with snares and traps, and we are going to be playing with snares and traps. This is a strong possibility.
Add tactical retreat to deck.
Tactical Retreat's a great all-around card. It's powerful. It's also tied with Spin the Web. I prefer new cards that I don't play that often, but Tactical Retreat is another ambush card. So having too many ambush cards compete for our first action isn't that good. That means we're going to have to play cards that refresh our ambush effect. So I don't know if I want to get too deep into multiple ambushes. But if you are going to take a lot of ambushes, you need to put cards in your deck that refresh your ambush capability. So in this case, we're going to take the web. It sounds much more cooler, and it's kind of fitting the vibe of our little sneaky rogue, leaving traps and just being very cocky and arrogant and like letting the enemy walk right into our traps. So let's go ahead and take Spin the Web, okay?
Settings. Settings. Add spin the web to deck. Warden's Fall. The pale figure falls to the cold ground with a loud howl, leaving only the tattered robes and a large iron key behind. For a moment, the sky lights up as dozens of souls rise from their graves, free of the clutches of the warden and its grave-filled prison.
We freed all the souls. We got a big iron key, which will open the gate to Bright Kindle. So we are safe. Do we have enough life to take on the mini-boss? I don't think so. I think we're going to have to run. But let's see what opens up. Maybe we can.
Explore the area some more. Leave. Unlock the gate and head. Explore the area some. Exploration. Settings. Area status. Disturbed graves. Dead end. Mini-boss abominate. Leave area. Leave the player gold 109. Character info. Use weapon power. Show deck. Player health 13.
We have 13 health. We're in no position to take on a mini-boss.
Show deck. Use weapon. Character info. Player gold 109. Leave area. Leave this area. Mini-boss abomination. Dead end and obstacle blocks. Area status. Disturbed. Settings.
No, we're going to leave. Though I'd love to fight the mini-boss, we don't have enough.
Area status. Dead end and obstacle. Mini-boss abomination. Leave area. Leave this area and then leave area. Leave this area. Dead end. Area stat. Press to continue. Press to continue. Rykindle was founded by the Radiant Militia as a rally. Press to continue. Rykindle was founded by the Radiant Militia as a rallying banner on the border between Loomis and the dark lands of Umbras.
That is it. So that is it for our weekly trial episode of The Rogue. It has been extremely fun. Again, this is one of the new special features that you can find. And it's a way of playing each class a whole lot different with really cool, unique, like trials and tribulation. And that's why they call it trial, because it's really hard. Again, if I played the typical rogue, I wouldn't have any of these factors to deal with. I would just own everything because the rogue is very powerful. But this is what I really like about this game. You just don't get all the freebies. You have to fight, you have to try. Baby Goat likes it because they're fun and different. But I thank you very much for coming to Game Double Tap, the channel that describes absolutely everything. This is our Show It Off Sunday showcase, which for now, for the foreseeable future, is going to be Dawncaster. Dawncaster will come on anywhere from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays. Usually it's at 9 a.m. And you can definitely take the playlist and just play the whole thing and have a good time. I promise you, I have I do believe, 25 to 30 episodes of our Dawncaster game. And I've got individual playlists for the classes that you want to learn. My suggestion is watch me play the class. Notate the very silly mistakes I make and then don't do them. And then experiment on your own. Please join the Discord community of Dawncaster as well as Game Double Tap's Discord community. Thank you to Madness for setting that up for us. And of course, go to the iOS App Store and rate Dawncaster's 5 stars. Leave a review with a title and mention that Game Double Tap sent you there. Again, thank you very much, everybody, for coming. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will hear you again next Sunday. Take care.